What's up? Welcome back to the vlog, guys. With the wifey today. Say hello. No? Okay. Taking the M4 out. Gonna get it washed quickly. C63 I washed yesterday. M4 I'll wash today, and I'll put it back in the garage. Driving the other day, my sister was driving it, and she drives it more, as I said, but whatever. I guess I'm the caretaker. But today's video is all about what I don't like about the M4 in the winter. There are a few things, and how the car is overall throughout the year. First thing about the M4 is these mirrors. They look nice, but in the winter time, when you open, sometimes they don't open, or sometimes you'll hear like cracking sounds because the ice gets stuck on them. I like them. I like the folding mirrors, but it is what it is. Clean. So see how the trunk's frozen? I don't know why. It's just, I don't know if the seals freeze or what it is with this car. But anyways, the other thing I don't like about the M4 that I guess is I'm getting spoiled with the C63 is the fact that it doesn't have a button to close the trunk. C63 has like a close feature where the button closes the trunk. This one, it does have the soft close option, but it doesn't have the button, so I don't know. Sometimes I wish we you know, had summer weather all the time. So also wifey's recording and she's kind of new at this, so give it some time, guys, if the camera keeps going back and in or something like that. No, just saying. You know, she doesn't realize you have to come closer, but don't worry, we'll get better at it. I'm gonna be the new brown shmi. The other thing about this car that I don't like is the windshield wipers freeze. With the Mercedes, the windshield wipers are covered inside. You see, it has a little bit more covering and a little bit more play. But this car, I feel as if the wipers are a little bit harder to adjust. So I don't know, not sure. But anyway, it's a good car overall in the grand scheme of things. But I'm going to point out exactly what I don't like about it in the winter, in case anybody's daily driving this thing, and these are the problems you're gonna have in the winter. See that ice there? See how the ice builds up? That's what causes it. Okay, first problem is car takes longer to warm up than usual. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a BMW thing, but the car just takes a little longer to warm up. Second thing is, this is a 2017, so it doesn't have the remote start, which is kind of such a convenience feature that I wish it kind of had. So that's one thing it kind of lacks for daily driving in the winter. Second thing about this car that pisses me off is after you have it warmed up, the transmission, being a dual clutch, it takes longer to warm up than the other transmissions that I have. So even the R8 and the C63, and then the transmission will take longer to warm up, car will take longer to warm up. You'll see the car is still at 70 and the car has been on for a couple of minutes, so I don't know what's going on with that. The biggest issue that I'm having with this vehicle in the winter, Canadian winter, if you have this car in like Florida or something, sure, it's an F83 convertible, but the thing is, frameless windows are a huge pain. So I'll add some clips here for you guys of how the frameless windows freeze up. Oh, low on gas as usual. M life. Okay, so what happens is, if you leave the car parked outside and it's even casually snowing and some of that freezes, the frameless windows will not go down, and then once you get them to somehow go down, they won't go back up, and it is a huge problem with this car. And I don't know if it's something to do with the rubber seals or the way that, I guess, they are frameless windows. So that's the first thing. You have to keep this car garaged most of the time. If you leave it outside for a couple of days and you don't drive it and it snows and it freezes or whatnot, it's not like the conventional doors where you can open. The frameless windows give you a hard time. In the winter time, the gas cap won't open properly on this car. I don't know if it's just an M thing, but that's just a small little caveat. Okay, so what I've figured out with this car overall in the winter is that it's on all seasons, so I didn't want to put winters on it because nobody drives this car in the household in the winter in the snow. Reason being, it starts to fishtail in even like 2-3 centimeters of snow. That's the experience from the one time I took it out in the snow, so there was no point in even trying to put winter tires on it. The C63 has winter tires on it, but in the winter, this car is drivable 95% of the time. It has Michelin all-season performance tires on there, and if you see the road outside, you'll see that the road itself is just wet and dry. If the road is dry like this car has no issues. It'll drive no problem. If you put winters on it, I think it'll drive even better. But if you want to keep this car if you have an SUV at home and you want to keep this car to drive all year, you can drive it 95% of the time. The only thing is, this car is an F83 convertible, so it's a little bit heavier. So I think it might make a big difference on even the weight aspect of it. But the only thing with these cars is you got to get them frequently washed. I don't know what it is about BMW paint, but if you don't frequently wash the car, it gives you trouble getting like stuff off the paint. And I've noticed that some other paints for some other companies, they're a little bit better. So garaging the car, keeping it clean through the winter, keeping the underside clean, very important. One thing that annoys me about the brakes, and this is usually just when the brakes are wet on any car, they squeak, right? But on this car, because of the brakes being so performance oriented, it takes a couple of minutes for the brakes to really warm up. It takes longer than the other cars. So you see the pattern here? This is the pattern. The pattern is this is a daily drivable sports car, 100%. The M3, M4, the F80 chassis, but 95% of the time. And I highly encourage you drive them. But the circumstances is to have a warm place to put this car, have a little bit of patience, and have an SUV if you can at home on the days where it's snowing heavy. Everything else on the car is really nice. The heated seats work really well. The back, it's a hardtop convertible. The back heat works really well. The car does not have a heated steering wheel, so that's another thing I don't kind of like. But it's a performance car, so it's just what it is. You know, at this point, this car didn't come with a heated steering wheel. I know some do, but that's not a big point for me on the sale aspect of the car. If the road has been unplowed, or if the road has any sort of debris on the road itself, you know, like the ice chunks that fall off cars, absolutely do not take these cars out. And I'll tell you why. Because if you have the M Performance lips and the side skirts, they will break if you hit something. On the C63, I'm just using that as a comparison, I don't have any lips or side skirts, so anything that does hits the bumper, and it will just break because the bumper can withstand that. But this car, the front M Performance lip, side skirts, they're just bolted on. They're plastic if you really think about it. They're from the factory, but they're plastic and they're bolted on. If a big boulder hits that, the bumper is probably going to be fine, but the front lip will 100% break. And I've checked it out underneath. It's literally just OEM bolts that hold it in. So it might not rip off because it's designed for high speed, but it will definitely break. So that's another issue. And the car's not even lowered. The C63 is lowered and it does really well. This car, that's why I'm kind of scared to lower it, because if I lower this car a little bit more, that lip and the side skirts get even lower. So hence why I stopped putting on lips and side skirts and diffusers on cars now, because they just take such a beating through daily driving or driving all year. And I think I'm getting older to that point where I don't have the patience to keep replacing lips. So it's a very important thing in the winter. If you want to daily drive the M3s, M4s, F80 chassis, if you can, I don't know if anyone has time for this all the time, avoid any days with large ice chunks, or just avoid driving the car with days where you know there's going to be big ice chunks, and try to take the splitter and the side skirts off if you can for the winter, if you really have to. If not, as I said, just be careful driving and hitting anything like that, because these skirts will take damage. Performance wise, once the car heats up properly, operates nice, but I kind of, just as I said, don't like the fact that the windows and whatnot start to kind of give you issues. So washing the car, which I'm gonna do right now, this is where I'm actually just going, this is what I'm talking to you guys, is a very frequent thing I have to do. Overall, love the car. I think I'll keep it for another 50 to 60,000 kilometers, probably sell it around the 150, 60 mark. It should be okay. They retain their value pretty well, but other than that, it's okay. And the steering wheel is heavy. You have to put it in the comfort mode. In the winter, I like driving with a heavy steering wheel. I feel more in control over snow because it's already such a slippery surface, but it's all up to your preference. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It wasn't anything crazy. I just wanted to let you guys know the experiences of daily driving the F83 M4 through the winter, and now it's time for food. Anyways, peace out. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video. This is a passenger penguin. Thanks for recording. Appreciate it.